Oh yeah. Hey guys, it is Michael from StevensvilleGamers and welcome to the first card review for Saviors of Uldum. And I had the first card review all set up, but then I lost the footage. So, whoops, my bad. This is the first one, and there's 11 cards to go through, so let's just get started. And of course, my good pal Ben is here with me. So the first exciting thing about this set is that it's League of Explorers and kind of Journey to Un'Goro mixture, and I like both. Well, I like Journey to Un'Goro. I wasn't playing during League of Explorers, but both sets are pretty, memorable in a lot of people's eyes, so that's amazing and fantastic. And one of the things that they're bringing back from Journey to Un'Goro is the quests. So if you don't know, the quests are 1 mana legendary spells that are guaranteed to be in your opening hand, but you can mulligan them away if you would like to. So that's what a quest is, and we have 3 quests so far that have been revealed, and I'm super excited for them. I love playing Quest Paladin, I love playing Quest Druid on occasion, and the Hunter quest is busted in a lot of the solo adventure modes as well. So quests are good and fun, and that's one of the mechanics, I guess you could say, that they are bringing back, and one of the key mechanics that is part of this set. So the first one is the Warlock quest, and it is called Supreme Archaeology. And the quest requirement is to draw 20 cards, and the reward is you get Tome of Origination. Now, Tome of Origination is a hero power that costs 2 that automatically gets attached to your hero. So it's not a card that you have to play. Just as soon as you complete the quest, you get the hero power, which it seems like that is the trend with all of them, because the other 2, besides this one, also have it like this. My thoughts, 20 cards is really hard to draw, even in Warlock when you have tap, and there's a lot of hand-locked strategies that I'm sure could go alongside this. Tome of Origination, by the way, I forgot to say, is a 2 mana hero power that draws you a card and it costs 0. So you basically get a free card, well, you get a 2 mana card every turn. But the thing is, after you've drawn 20 cards, how many cards are you going to have left in your deck after your starting hand? And if you're going second, you'll have 4 cards in your starting hand, so that already puts you at 26 cards, and you have to draw 20 of those. So you only have 6 cards left in your deck, which is not ideal for a hero power that then draws you more cards. So I'm kind of on that regards, but there is an important card that nobody really thought about, and a strategy that I think could work now is the Fell Lord Betrug mixed with the important card Plot Twist, and that way you can plot twist a huge hand back into your deck and shuffle them in and redraw. So you're not actually losing any cards in your deck, therefore you still will have a solid amount of cards left after you get the Tome of Origination. So you're not necessarily depleting your resources. Again, you're going to have to plot twist 10 cards twice, or you're going to have to plot twist probably an average of 6 cards each plot twist. So then you can, plot twist 6, that's 12. Draw cards on your turn also counts because it just says drawing cards. So then, you tap 3 times, you draw 3 times. Stuff is happening. If you can achieve this by still having half of your deck left, I think Tome of Origination is going to be worth it. But we need more cards in Warlock or Neutral that, recycle themselves, so then you're not losing resources and ultimately just drawing yourself completely dry with trying to complete the quest. Another idea, though, is Fell Lord Betrug making, getting value whenever you're drawing these cards, and being able to rush down boards to stay alive as well is another, important aspect, I think, to this that you can try to do. I really think we need to see more recycling cards like Plot Twist for this to be efficient and more importantly, consistent, because you can't consistently guarantee to draw 2 cards out of your deck, right? Even with tap, you still are drawing a lot of cards, and your plot twists may be at the bottom half of the deck, and you need the plot twists to be able to achieve this without running out of resources. So I think there's some consistency issues, but I think the reward is good enough if you're able to have, half of your deck left using these recycling effects. I think Supreme Archaeology gets 3 stars. It's a pretty cool idea. It's not a fantastic quest. Like the other ones were really overpowered. These seem to be pretty, on par with the rest of the cards. And, Tome of Origination is still very good, but the way to do the quest is now harder. Next we have the Shaman quest. And this one is play 6 battle cry cards and get the Heart of Vir Now. And the Heart of Vir Now is a 2 mana hero power, and for the rest of the turn, your battle cries trigger twice. So really, battle cry Shaman is able to be reinvigorated, which is kind of exciting. Shudderwalk is still an option. We can still do crazy stuff with like triple life drinkers. We now have Barista Lynchin, which will give you all of your battle cry cards back to your hand. So if you can manage to keep the Shudderwalk alive for a turn, you can, bring it back to your hand with Barista Windrunner or Barista Lynchin and be able to do that again. I don't think playing 6 battle cry cards is very hard at all to be able to get this reward. The only issue is that once you get this reward, you may have to lose it again if you want to play the hero card Hagatha, because then that will replace your hero power with Bewitched. So I think that that these battle cry Shaman idea that the quest will run and the more control Shaman lists will be very separate, because some of them want to keep their double battle cry hero power, and some of them want to, keep the Bewitched hero power. So I think there's going to be 2 different lists, and I don't think they're going to be really conflicting a whole lot. Hopefully we see some more battle cry synergy kind of stuff. I don't think they're going to make it, hopefully they've tested it, make it not as broken as like the original Shudderwalk Shaman, which you could, make copies of them and then grumble them back, or Zola, and that whole original thing with Shudderwalk was absolutely crazy and ridiculous. So I don't think it's ever going to be that good again, but I think that a Shudderwalk Battlecry value Shaman definitely could use Corrupt the Waters and, be able to complete Corrupt the Waters very quickly with the Battlecry synergies, and then be able to continue doing crazy stuff with double Battlecries. It is a 2 mana hero power, so you're not going to be able to hero power Shudderwalk unless there's some way to reduce the Shudderwalk or reduce your hero power or keep the coin or anything like that. So I don't think you can double up on Shudderwalks, which is a smart play on their part, but I'm sure people will find ways to cheat that kind of stuff out. But again, we now have Barista Lynchin, which I think is going to be very strong in this type of deck, where you play a whole bunch of battle cries and maybe even your Shudderwalk, and you're able to get even more value. Double battle cry, double Lynchin, get a whole bunch of stuff back. Double battle cry, play a whole bunch more stuff. We have double grumbles now. I think this deck is going to be disgusting looking if we can get the right ways to finish off an opponent, because there's so much value in battle cries right now, but you just need a way to win. And that's probably going to be the Shudderwalk with this insane amount of Battlecry value that you can get off of it. Because if you can Shudderwalk hero power Barista, then you can get 2 Shudderwalks back, and you don't. I think that's going to be how this deck plays out. I think this is a 5-star card. I think this is going to be fantastic. It is going to be amazing. I really want to play with it. Thankfully, Shudderwalk isn't rotating for another year, so that's good as well. We'll keep the value, game-winning card for this deck. But is it going to be better than Control Shaman? I don't know, but we'll see. The next card is the Druid quest, the new Druid quest. It is untapped potential. This is a really weird one, so get ready. The quest requirement is end 4 turns with any unspent mana. basically meaning you have to spend 4 turns floating mana. The quickest that you can accomplish this is turn 5. If you play below curve, that's not generally very good in Hearthstone. Hearthstone is a very on curve, spend all of your mana every single turn to get the most out of your hand, most out of your mana crystals, most out of your turn on curve to keep up with what your opponent is doing, which is most likely playing on curve, keeping up with their mana crystals, using their hand to the fullest potential each and every turn to outvalue you. And if you take a step back and say, hey, I'm just going to play under curve, then your opponent is going to get the upper hand, and then at that point you'll have to come back a little bit as they have already taken the upper hand by playing on curve, as you have played lower than curve to complete this quest, which is already in itself a little bit inherently clunky and awkward. But the quest reward is the Osiren tier, and it's a passive hero power, so we have another sort of passive ability like Bewitched. This one though is you combine your choose one effects, like the old card back in the day, I forget his name. Whenever you played him, all of your choose one effects combined. Power of the Wild becomes good. Wrath becomes fantastic. Even Mark of the Loa becomes really good. The minion that is the 6 mana, like 3/4, 6 mana 3/4 maybe, that summons the tree ants and then buffs your board by 2, that becomes even better. So I think that the reward for this card is going to be very, very strong. And I think that the Druid choose one abilities have the potential to come back. You're playing 4 turns behind, and then you just unload, turn 5 or turn 6, and you just get, you Starfire and clear the board that they've been building for 4 turns and deal 5 damage to their face. Or you deal 5 damage to a big thing and continue to clear their board. Power of the Wild gives the minions that you may have played a buff, and you get the Panther as well. You could drop the thing that summons you 2/2 tree ants and buffs them. I think that playing 4 turns behind, but then being able to unload that much value onto the board with the choose one effects, plus with Steladris, I think that the Gatekeeper Steladris, that's what it's called. And then being able to add 2 versions of that. Also, you get War Druid. You get a giant combined War Druid Loti as well. I think that playing 4 turns behind to get that passive hero power, I think is going to be worth it. And I'm giving this card 4 stars. This is not as good as the Shaman Quest, I don't think. I think the Shaman Quest is going to be very good. But I am super excited to play with untapped potential. I think that this card is going to be really cool to play with, and I can't wait to play with it. I've got some ideas brewing in my head with maybe you're playing a hand druid with that as well, so it could be really interesting. So the next card is Plague of Death. This is like a new card type in a way. It is a plague, and which is brought upon by Rafaam. I rhymed, and I didn't even intend it. Basically, plagues will affect both players, both sides of the board. So it's good that you're in control of it. At least that's what the lady on the reveal stream said, or the reveal video said. So this is a 9 mana epic spell for priest, and it's called Plague of Death, and it's silence and destroy all minions. So if you really want to get rid of the pesky Battlecry Hunter, pesky Death Rattle Hunter, then you can just Plague of Death it and play priest, and hopefully they have better cards to make priest actually somewhat viable besides, Chef Nomi Priest. This is a step in the right direction. This is the first and only plague that we have seen. 9 mana, clear the board. We have Twisting Nether for 8 mana, clear the board. So for 1 mana more, you get to silence them. The thing is, we don't really see Twisting Nether a whole lot. So are we gonna see Plague of Death, and maybe in a control list for Priest, maybe. I just don't know if this is going to see play. Is 1 more mana for a Silence in this meta better than a Twisting Nether? Again, a lot of the good Warlock decks recently have been Handlock or Zoolock and not really Control Warlock, so you don't really need to see Twisting Nether because Warlock just kills you by turn like 8 anyway. So maybe that's why we don't see Twisting Nether. Maybe in a more control-oriented, long game-oriented style class like Priest, we could see a Twisting Nether being played, or in this case, Plague of Death being played. So really taking in all of the options, and the comparison to Twisting Nether and Warlock is a little bit different because Warlock for a while really hasn't necessarily needed it, because the last control Warlock that we kind of saw was in Cobalt and Catacombs Q-Block style deck with just one with cubes and Gul'dan and all of that crazy shenanigans, and again didn't need Twisting Nether to wipe the board because you were just always in control of the board, so it didn't really matter. In Priest, you really do need to control the board a little bit more than something like a Warlock does in recent years, or in recent times at least. So I think that the comparison to Twisting Nether is there, but it's also 2 different styles of classes, and I think that Priest as a class will use Plague of Death in probably control-oriented lists. Or if more Death Rattle Hunter, or if just Death Rattle stuff in general gets out of hand, we're going to see silent stuff. As well as, mechs, and just the mech Death Rattles and the mech Magnetizes and all of that kind of stuff that really helps silence. And this is a really good counter to Kangor's army. You silence all of those magnetized mechs, so the Kangor only brings back normal looking mechs because you've silenced them before you killed them. I think that Plague of Death in this type of meta and for Priest will probably get played, but I don't think it's that amazing of a card. So I'm going to say 3 stars. I think it is pretty good, and in this meta for Priest we'll see some play, but not a whole lot. The next and final card for this new mechanics video basically is a 4 mana common warrior minion called Restless Mummy, and it is a 3/2 with Rush and Reborn, and Reborn is the new mechanic. And Ben, do you want to talk about the new mechanic?
Yeah, I would love to. So Reborn is basically, it resurrects itself after the first time it dies, and then after it does that, it comes back with 1 health. So you can play this minion, and then it dies, and then it comes back with 1 health left.
That is exactly correct. So basically, once the minion dies, it comes back to life 1 more time after it dies the first time with 1 health. And this is a very strong card because it also has Rush. So this is basically 4 mana, deal 6 damage to a minion. That's really strong. And you can split it up. It's like a Mark's Shot with the flexibility of keeping a body on board if necessary. And on turn 4, I think it's going to be really good as well. Turn 4 is kind of that big turning, or one of the big turning points in the game. It goes from the early game to transitioning to the mid game, and if Restless Mummy is able to reclaim the board as a warrior enters the mid game, I think it's going to be very, very good. The thing is, warrior doesn't really necessarily need or have a mid game. They already have a lot of removal options. Warrior right now doesn't need another good card, and I think warrior already has the issue of too many cards that are good, and what do I take out or what do I put in to make the most optimal list to either control, well right now control bomb warriors are really just reigning over everything. So I think that Restless Mummy is a very good card, but weirdly enough, I don't think it's a good enough card to make it into some of the warrior lists, but I could be wrong. This could really help warriors maintain more board control. It's a card that makes you, not waste your warpaths on a weak board, because sometimes you got to use your warpaths on something that you don't really want to use your warpaths on. So instead of using 2 warpaths, you can just use a Restless Mummy, and save your warpaths for something that's more, warpathable in that sense. I think that's a good way to think or a good situation for Restless Mummy to be in. But do you want to have those card slots in place of something else that's even better than Restless Mummy and goes towards their end game better? Because you also have Wrench Caliber, which is a 3/2 weapon for 4, which is basically the same thing. And I think you just play Wrench Caliber to deal 6 damage, shuffle 2 bombs for 4 mana as well. So I don't think Restless Mummy is going to see play just because of how strong Warrior is already. Maybe when Boomsday and the Witchwood and that set rotation happens, then I think that Restless Mummy could see play. But right now, it's still a 4-star card in my opinion. But Warrior is just so strong that I don't think it needs it. So that is all the cards I'm going to go over right now. I just wanted to make a video highlighting all of the new mechanics, Quest, Reborn, and Plagues. And the next video I will go over all of the rest of the cards. I think there's another 5 or 6 cards that they still have revealed. So make sure you check out my next card review video. But other than that, make sure you guys check the link in the description. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Discord. Check it all out down there. If you want to support me monetarily, I super appreciate it. Patreon and merchandise at Redbubble, all down in the description as well. And if you have not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. But other than that, make sure you guys keep the all the spirit with you, because Michael from StevensvilleGamers is going to be signing off now. So 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah. Bye. Hey guys, it's Michael from StevensvilleGamers. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like down below, comment as well. Tell me what you think of the video down there. Also, if you've not subscribed, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. And if you want to join me live, make sure you check out that Twitch link. I also have Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Check out all those social medias, and come join the Discord down below as well. Also, if you want to support me monetarily, come over to Twitch and donate, or use that Patreon link down below. I really appreciate it when you guys do that kind of stuff. It helps me pay my editor, and it helps me pay my rent. So please go check out all those links. But other than that, make sure you guys keep the all yes spirit with you, because Michael from StevensvilleGamers is going to be signing off now. So 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah.